Hello and welcome today to another Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle. Today my opponent is Joe, as you can see there, and he's got a pretty interesting team, a nice mix of Pokemon. I mean, the Electivire was certainly interesting, at least. Besides that, it's just standard OU, battling on the Wi-Fi team, etc. So anyway, he leads off with his Volcarona, appropriately named Firefly, and I lead off with my Trevenant, which is of course not a Trevenant, as you can clearly tell. So I just wanted to see what kind of player he was, and he does make the smart play, and he does switch out, and as I go just going straight for the Stone Edge sheet to get damage on whatever wants to come in. And he's just bringing the Garchomp here, and of course I missed the Stone Edge, so it's thinking, oh great, that's a good start, missing already, this is going to be this kind of battle, isn't it? So, oh pardon me, excuse me, I go into my 4-2 to take this Earthquake, and it takes that really, really poorly. I'm probably going to breed another one of these because I put a lot of investment in special defense, so it could live the special defensive hit, but I honestly think I should just make this thing a complete defensive wall now, because it might be a defensive Pokemon, but it really can't take hits ironically, especially from stuff like Garchomp and that. But I do manage to make the Stealth Rocks up, which does become quite a key player later in this battle. So 4-2 goes down there, unfortunately, and I decide to go into Let's Play. And I want to see how aware he is of Mega Bayonet, and of course he is quite aware of what Mega Bayonet does, evolve, go into Protect, etc. And he just decided to bring the Firefly, which is a questionable play, but here I just decided to go straight for the Shadow Sneak, because I thought he might switch on here, because this guy seems to know what he's doing. So I do manage to Mega Evolve into this complete beast, which is Mega Bayonet. I mean, look at that design, it's one of the best designs, Mega. It's not as good as Mega Angron, but what are you going to do? Oh no, I do decide to Protect here, then go for the Shadow Sneak, excuse me. So I do hit it with the Shadow Sneak, and that's going to kill, because these things aren't too defensive if I remember correctly, plus, half health, Mega Bayonet hits like a truck. So he goes into his Greninja here, and I'm not one to hang around to get Dark Pulsed or whatever it's going to do. At least the Stealth Rocks come in, chip this thing away. So I do manage to switch into my GOODRA, who is the most unlucky GOODRA ever. Seriously, this GOODRA can take hits for days, but he just has a habit of any kind of secondary effect that can happen from attack. It happens. I mean, he gets hit here, boom, not much damage. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good, but get burned. So now my GOODRA's on a count, and I don't have any kind of heal valve in this team, so I'm thinking, great, my GOODRA is on the wall. So he does go into the Eccentricity here, which is a good play if he's trying to go for the flinch, etc., because he probably didn't want to really switch into anything. So, of course, I get flinched again. I'm thinking, well, this is going to be one of them kind of matches here. Never mind Togekiss, bloody Power Flinch Greninja's the next meta. So we'll go straight into the Ice Beam now, and I wasn't expecting it to kill, but I was expecting it to do a lot of damage, and it does do an awful lot of damage. So I was going for the Draco Meteor, just thinking, well, I'm going to die next turn anyway, but of course I have to miss that, and my GOODRA just did terrible. Poor GOODRA. Awesome Pokemon, just no luck there. So I go into my Zap, and I'm thinking, yeah, this thing's going to scare this Greninja off, definitely. And I go for my Hidden Power, which is Hidden Powered Dragon. And I was expecting the Garchomp to come in to take an electric attack, but he does go into this Electivire, which is a pretty good play as well, and it's a nice and shiny one as well. I mean, I can barely tell the difference. It's like a slightly darker yellow, I believe, from normal Electivire. So hit this thing up with Hidden Power, and takes it down to a good chunk of health, and I'm like, okay, another Hidden Power should finish this thing off, and if he wants to switch into anything, it's going to be his loss. So managed to take this thing down. Jolteon's doing pretty much what Jolteon does, come in, get some kills. And in comes the Tank, which is the Metagross, and I'm thinking, okay, this thing's coming in for a reason. It's probably got Earthquake here. So unfortunately the sacrifice has to be my Chinchino. I didn't see this thing really helping me much in this match, considering what was left. The Greninja would be able to outspeed. I wouldn't be able to kill off the Garchomp quickly, and if I hit it, I'd just get doing rough skin damage. So I go for the Tail Slap just to get whatever minuscule damage I can and hope for the flinches. So keep slapping this thing in the face, what Chinchino does. Let's come in, slap things in the face, and hope for the King's Rock flinch to kick in. Doesn't be, of course, not very effective, and I'm just going to die to an Earthquake there, as this thing doesn't really want to reveal its moveset. So take that damage, and unfortunately, poor Chinchino goes down, which is a shame, because this thing is an awesome little Pokemon. So I go into my Trevenant here, I'm thinking, okay, you're definitely going to stay in and go for the Meteor Mash, which I'm perfectly fine with as long as you stay in. So get hit, this Trevenant is right down to its sturdy, which is not good at all. But then I'm managing to hit this thing up with an Earthquake and cause some nice damage here, killing it off. I mean, I do get the critical hit here, but I don't think that mattered. I really don't think that mattered. So anyway, there's this damn problem, this Metagross down. So in comes this Greninja again. I'm thinking, well, he's just gonna scalp me and that fake tree to the face. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna get as much damage as I can on this thing. Get that priority, what I've got on this thing. Sucker push this thing. Just a very, very minuscule chunk to this thing. And of course, he's gonna go for the U-turn, which is a questionable play. I would have just went straight for the Scald here, because I couldn't really. I wasn't gonna switch out or anything, but he goes down. Goes the Trevenant. And back to Joe goes this Greninja. So he does go out to his Alakazam here, and I'm thinking, well, I've got the perfect matchup for this. My Mega Bayonet all over this thing, as long as it's not a sashed one. So I was thinking this thing could also be his Mega here, and when he withdrew, I'm thinking, yeah, this thing pretty much this is screaming Mega Alakazam to me. So in comes the Greninja again, and I suppose he was expecting the Sucker Punch, and I just go straight for the Shadow Sneak here, just to try and chip whatever damage I can here. So it just chips away, and I'm looking at this damage and thinking, another one of these mightn't kill if I get a low damage count. But I was expecting some kind of attack, so I go for the Sucker Punch, and that luckily does manage to kill. I mean, I know Greninja's not exactly a bulky Pokemon by any means necessary, but it's just the fact that if you do resist a hit, even the most frail Pokemon with a resisted hit can live it. So into the Garchomp here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably not going to kill this thing in one hit, but I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp and do a good chunk of damage to this. So I'll go for the Will-O-Wisp here, and get that burn, nice and burned, but he does reveal the Shadow Claw here, so if it wasn't for this burn, my Let's Play would have just died here. I mean, you know, especially that crit as well. I mean, Let's Play just comes out here, and just wouldn't have a laugh, you know, when this Garchomp comes and starts clawing up to death and even down. So I'll go for the Sucker Punch again, get a good chunk of damage, and of course it's the rough skinned one, so you know, don't be touching that Garchomp, that thing stings. And go straight for the Shadow Claw here, and of course Let's Play goes down. You know, Let's Play just want to have a good time, but you know, people keep killing him. But, you know, Bayonet is a really solid Pokemon either way. So, I'm down to I believe this is my last Pokemon actually, and with my Zap, and I'm thinking, okay, this could be interesting. I might have the game in the bag, I might not. So, I just lock myself in the Shadow Ball. This thing is Choice Specs. Hit it up here with a nice Shadow Ball, and of course it goes down. And this is why I think the regular Alakazam's better than Mega. Just because if he was Focus Sashed here, he probably would have won this game. So he decided to Mega Evolve. I mean, he could have got the Trace, and you know the Jolteons are usually Volt Absorb, so he was thinking maybe get the Trace, and if I decided to go for Electric Attack, he would have won. But I was locked into Shadow Ball, and of course you don't get the speed increase until the turn after you Mega Evolve. So I am able to outspeed, hit this thing up with a Shadow Ball, and luckily for me, win the game. So anyway, if you stuck to the end of the video, thank you for sticking to the end of the video. There's going to be no upload this weekend as I'm away. Anyway, if you liked, feel free to subscribe, like, etc. for more videos. Anyway, thank you guys, and peace out.